Ladies and gentlemen, please another round of applause. We appreciate your cooperation throughout that.
But it's the difficult times.
The Commissioner of Correction Services, invited guests, and of course all our inmates who are here upstairs in particular, and all the business houses that are actually represented this morning. Good morning to you all. I do not intend to make a very long speech. We all know what we're here for. But I'd just like to contextualize the reason behind the Yellow Ribbon project, or program I should say. Government started this a few years ago, working in conjunction with Correction Services. And the reason why this was started off was because, as I've said some weeks back when we were opening some new facilities at the Lotoga Correction Services facility in Natambua, that in the criminal justice system for a number of years, the Correction Services was always highly neglected. There's a lot of emphasis, of course, on the police, the investigation, the prosecution, and of course then the judicial process. And once people were convicted and sent to prison, they were sort of forgotten. And that was essentially reflected in the type and quality of the facilities that existed, in respect of the conditions in which the prisoners were kept in. I remember some years back where it became so bad in one of the facilities that the judges, this is back in the 90s, went and visited one of the facilities themselves because the prisoners complained so much when they used to appear before the judiciary. And there were things like skin diseases, the sanitation conditions were terrible. We have come extremely a long way from then. Things have improved. We, of course, applying our standards to various international standards, benchmarking ourselves, various conditions like the Mandela rules, etc. And also international benchmarks, working with the Red Cross and various other organizations, and of course the UN too. Now, the reason why it's being done is not just simply to window dress to the international world, because we actually take a lot more fundamental approach, and that is that if you treat people with dignity when they are convicted, they will also learn to respect other people. They will also have a sense of self-worth, which is critically important. So when people do finish serving their term, when they do come out, and if they have a sense of self-worth, they believe they'll be treated with dignity, they will treat others with dignity. On top of that, if you are able to equip them with a particular skill set, so then they become a lot more employable, and they're able to gain a source of income, then again, you not only create dignity, but also create a source of livelihood for them. And we must not forget how critically important these very basic factors are. And as you can see, traditionally in Fiji, most of the people who have been convicted, even if you look at the pre-colonial days, a lot of people used to get convicted for minor offenses. People in the pre-World War II, people those days could not, for example, come out of their villages. They needed a permit to come to the municipal areas. People caught drinking alcohol. At one stage, you needed a license to drink alcohol many years ago in Fiji. Very basic things that we do take for granted now, and that can lead to a cycle of criminality. And at one point in time, we had people going in or being imprisoned for very minor crimes. And so there's no sort of concept of restorative justice in a sort of general sense of the word. And there's no sense of actually, ensuring that people do not come back in. This is why the rate of recidivism in Fiji was actually very high. At one point in time, it was about 50%. In other words, 50% of the people who went to prison, they went back to prison after they came out. So many of them became recurring or recurrent, convicts. So the Yellow Ribbon program is also about ensuring that there is a deep level of engagement with the community outside the correction services. And I would like to very much thank and have a deep sense of appreciation for all those from the private sector who actually, and also the civil society that participated in the Yellow Ribbon program. And I'm sure many of you have benefited from the skill sets of those people who've come out from correction facilities and now are working for you or have worked for you, because you are giving them another chance. And a lot of these people actually do want to reform, and they do want to live a normal life like you and I. And there should be absolutely no reason as to why they shouldn't. So I'd like to thank, of course, the Correction Services, the Commissioner of Correction Services and his team in ensuring that we keep up with this program and ensuring that we engage with the private sector. It's critically important to do that. And it's without your assistance, we won't be able to make Girl Ribbon a success. I'd like to also make a plug this morning. Given COVID-19, government also announced some weeks back with a new job support scheme, where if you join the new job support scheme and you get approved, government will pay $2.68 an hour for anybody that you employ yourselves for the first 3 months. So essentially, if you're going to say and apply through Ministry of Economy and say, I want 50 positions because I need some people to do X, Y, Z for me or in my business, we will pay the $2.68 an hour for you. So there may be certain jobs where the minimum wage, maybe a forklift driver, assuming the minimum wage is say $3.45 an hour, and somebody's got a skill set of driving a forklift. Out of the $3.45, we will pay the $2.68. You pay the balance, and you pay the FNPA. You hire them, you of course can fire them if they don't do the job or they breach any of the employment conditions. But for the first 3 months, we will actually pay $2.68 an hour. We already have a number of companies that have applied, and we will be, God willing, on Tuesday making those announcements. We already have 500 jobs in excess of that has been created through this scheme. And we hope to make that announcement. So many of you who are here, if you are going to hire new people, including from those who come out of the correction services, please apply. It's already been advertised, and we'll be supporting their employment with you at $2.68 an hour for the next 3 months. And I think it's a wonderful initiative. We've seen a lot of people come forward. Some people have said, well, I have not cleaned my bulk store for the past 10 or 15 years, and I don't mind hiring 5 people to do their job for me. And because it's a minimum wage of $2.68, the minimum, they don't have to pay anything higher, they're hiring them at $2.68 an hour, and we're paying them. All you have to do is pay the FNPA. And of course, if they require gloves or coats or boots, etc., you need to provide all of that because you'll be the employer. So that's the initiative, and I'd like you to take advantage of that. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We'd like to see more of what our inmates have done. We've seen wonderful displays on there, wonderful artists across the road from Korovo. I hope many of you have seen that. A lot of untapped potential. I'd like to thank all those people who've been involved, people like Jane Ricketts, etc., who've been involved with that. And those of you who've been pioneers in assisting the Oregon project, thank you very much. And we look forward to working together with you. Welcome.